In a world filled with magical elements and rich snobs, one young man defies all odds by harnessing two powers, making him the next avatar and savior. After Mo Fan finished taking his 9th grade magic examination, he went out feeling bummed about failing. Everyone in school considered him a loser and constantly made fun of his poor educational background and low status. His father tried cheering him up by informing him of a driving gig he found for Mo Fan. However, the young kid had huge aspirations and really wanted to be a mage. After sensing his convictions, his old man went to a powerful family to beg on his behalf and call in favors after serving them for years. They gave him a ridiculous offer that would make you think he sold his soul to the devil. In return for his service, house and land, they agreed to help Mo Fan join the prestigious institution. Back at home, his father announced the tremendous news and Mo Fan was on cloud 9 just thinking about it. Nevertheless, he was caught reminiscing about the time he tried to elope with the rich family's daughter, Ning Shui, and faced the consequences of his betrayal alongside his father, who was also humiliated. The following day, everyone in class was excited to check what magical affinity they were able to utilize. The teacher handed everyone badges and informed them how the glowing colors would correspond with their respective elements. Once again, the bullies started harassing Mo Fan, claiming he bribed his way in, which he kinda did though. Even so, the star pupil of the class, Mubai, stepped up and placed his hand on the crystal ball, revealing ice powers, a noteworthy element inside the verse. Apparently, elements like light, water, wind, and earth were looked down upon. How strange is that? Guess they haven't seen The Last Airbender yet. Moving on, it was Mo Fan's turn, and when he started his journey of exploration, everyone rushed to the other class, where someone unlocked thunder. Since when is thunder an element? This show keeps getting weirder and weirder, if you ask me. While everyone was preoccupied, Mo Fan not only unlocked thunder, but went for seconds and brought back fire with him. The teacher's expression immediately changed as he praised his efforts, informing him fire is one of the best elements out there, and everyone started taking him seriously. 2 months had passed, and the students were still practicing on mastering the revolving stars, which is the basis of magic formation. Once all 7 are controlled, the first step towards becoming a mage is complete. Mubai stepped up and demonstrated his progress by summoning 4 so far. The teacher was proud of his start pupil, while the rest of the class murmured in jealousy. Our boy was still stuck at 1 star, and the bullies wouldn't get off his about it. After being ridiculed, he stormed out of class contemplating his current situation. However, our boy has been hiding a secret all along. In fact, he has reached the 6th star using his thunder powers. This skinny runt pulled a number on us, so much so he used his thunder, or should I say, lightning powers to scare off some bullies who were harassing a handicapped girl named Shinxia. He asked her to keep his powers between them and headed back home to take a bath. Unfortunately for him, he burnt himself while trying to harness his fire powers. Talk about a newbie. Even so, she questioned him later on, accusing him of cutting corners to get to where he is at. But he promised her his progress was a result of hard work and nothing else. The next day, everyone was bamboozled to see a hottie as their new instructor. Not only was Tang hot, but her fire ability was flaming as well. Now that's a combination I'd go for. Inside a lavish mansion, Mubai was concocting plans with his uncle to bring down our hero and have him expelled. Their plan involves using a dark stone to absorb his magical energy when he steps close to the crystal ball. Now, how pathetic is that? On the other hand, our boy was making great progress by being able to control 5 stars. He really wants this to work out so that he can prove everyone wrong and impress the girl he likes. So he starts meditating and practicing regularly, like a disciplined warrior. Inside the classroom, the teacher explains the rules of the test. Bright colors equal an A and a dim light will get you expelled. If anyone is able to release their magic by harnessing 7 stars, they'll get a star bracelet that boosts their power exponentially. Sounds easy, right? Yep. The students line up in rows awaiting their next orders. The headmaster, along with some new guests, arrive. Professor Mu gives a heartfelt speech, and his daughter Ning Shui, our hero's crush, demonstrates her ice powers on stage, leaving everyone in awe. Students start walking up to the ball one by one, all of them receiving passing marks. The competitive aura shifted when Mubai got an S for outstanding achievement and even went as far as performing a magic release, which is considered quite impressive for a first year. It was now showtime, and our boy stepped up looking confident. However, one of the judges slipped in the dark stone, and as a result, it started consuming his magic bit by bit until it broke and he received a B. Hottie in the red dress opposed and accused of rigging and demanded a redo. Even though some opposed it, the headmaster commanded the replacement. Once it was changed, our boy's magic skyrocketed and he received an S. Not only that, but his magic release overcame that of Mubai's as well. Color me impressed. After receiving his S&A, the headmaster praised his efforts, knowing his background and how hard he had to work to get here. After being summoned to receive his reward, our boy went berserk and started insulting them for hurting his father and demanding retribution for what they did. The headmaster tried to alleviate the situation, but alas, things escalated to the point where he challenged the head of the Mu family to a duel. Tang the cutie suggested the duel take place 2 years from now to allow Mofan to train. It was agreed, and everyone went their separate ways. A few months passed, and the new semester began with all the students in the elite class. They had all harnessed their magic release by controlling the 7 stars, and now Tang has officially been named their teacher for the rest of the semester. Imagine the excitement on the boy's face. Inside the training ground, we can see how hard everyone has been training. Despite his remarkable progress, Mofan still gets bullied. I believe it's an inferiority complex. Our boy knows this and simply shrugs it off. That evening, things went sideways real quick when his pendant swallowed the star bracelet. Tang the hottie arrived and told him he'd be expelled if he lost the bracelet. When he explained to her what happened, she informed him that his loach pendant is a magical gear that can store energy and boost his magical progress. No wonder he's top of the class. He goes back home and continues meditating like a devoted monk, preparing for the school trip the next day. Everyone gets inside a lavish bus that takes them to a mountain range to train and harness their magical affinity. Upon arrival, they are all greeted by Jan Kong, the chief instructor, who debriefs them on their next task, which is to hunt monsters as a team inside the jungle. It's go time, boys. After the pep rally ended, all the students joined hands and went up the mountain looking for monsters to hunt. Along the way, they encountered several booby traps and obstacles which were dealt with efficiently. They finally made their way to a cave where wolves were known to live. The chief explains how this mission was designed to test their courage. They drop down, and upon reaching the cave, fear creeps in, forcing some students to doubt their next move. Even so, the majority head in while Mofan begins to scout the area. He notices how a large quantity of water is missing and speculates a giant monster is hiding inside. Even though he tried to warn them, his plea fell on deaf ears. It wasn't until the wolf raided on that everyone started panicking and shitting their pants. It is revealed that the wolf is actually a pet of the chief's subordinate and the students aren't in any real harm. Mubai freezes the wolf's leg while everyone else successfully escapes the cave. However, given the wolf's ferocity and strength, he breaks free and attacks an unarmed girl who was saved by Mofan's lightning. Even then, the wolf refused to stay down and attacked once again. This time, our boy used fire to incinerate the wolf, causing him to go skinny dipping in the pond. Just then, one of the chief's subordinates indicated how he lost control of the wolf. Talk about an unexpected twist. While the chief was gearing up to charge into action, the wolf's vicious rampage knew no bounds. Given the severity of the situation, someone had to act quick. And who else but Mofan to come to the rescue? He lured the wolf deeper into the cave and away from the rest of the students. Now that's a smart tactic. Just then, the chief arrived and comforted everyone. However, inside the belly of the beast, Mofan was struggling trying to fight the ravenous monstrosity. Even after he struck it with lightning, all it did was hamper its movements. In a last-ditch effort, he struck the sharp rock with a fire blast, which served as a spear, killing the wolf instantly. As usual, his pendant gobbled up its energy. As he looked up, the chief arrived, once again late to the party. Despite Mofan's explanation, something didn't sit right with the chief, who kept on wondering how he did it. Regardless, the rest of the squad showed up, including the master of the wolf, who kept weeping for his fallen comrade. Poor guy, he never expected such a drastic outcome. Everyone else kept on praising our boy, letting him know how grateful they are for rescuing them all on his own. The chief personally congratulated him, but criticized the rest for not participating. Had it been a real monster, they'd have all been dead by now for sure. After granting everyone an A, he bestowed Mofan with another S and tried calling it a day when someone reminded him of his promise to gift a magic armor to whomever kills the monster, and keep in mind, magic armors are hella expensive. The next day, he officially gave Mofan the badge and the honor of being called hero. However, the chief seems visibly upset about something. The incident which took place doesn't add up. How was Mofan able to kill a high-level wolf with just fire? While he was daydreaming, monsters were attacking the vicinity, and he was forced to round up the troops for a counterattack. Later in the evening, our boy is seen harnessing his magical powers on top of the roof, being impressed by his outstanding progress. Conceited much? He kept on replaying the fight with the wolf, wondering how he could have capitalized on the moment or taken advantage of his powers. It was then that an idea struck him, to become a bounty hunter and earn real money. So the next day, he went to the bounty hunters hall looking for an open spot. He encountered two mages talking about the Monster Hunter Association and approached one of them to ask a few questions. After he informed him of the open spot, he went to interview and was able to get the job instantly because he possessed thunder magic. I still believe it should be called lightning, though. After he was hired, they went on a mission to eliminate a monster who was sighted at a high school. They all went their separate ways, with our boy heading to the canteen. This guy's appetite knows no bounds. Suddenly, the monster attacked out of nowhere. However, our boy was able to dodge it like an Olympian. Before he could use his magic, the cavalry arrived in time to thwart the monster's diabolical reign of terror. Just when they thought they defeated it, it leaped into action, catching one of them off guard. Thankfully, Mofan's quick thinking saved the day, and he was praised highly because of it. As usual, his pendant wanted more and ended up consuming the energy. More praise and adulation waited for him in the car, along with promises of extending his contract. The next day, they made good on their word and hired him as a full-time member with a lucrative salary and bonuses per kill. In a different part of town, the grumpy wannabe uncle met up with Yuang, a proficient ice user and the next contender to win the tournament. The victor gets a chance to practice at the sacred spring, which is known to boost one's magic exponentially. Elsewhere, a one-eyed wolf demon passes through a portal and ends up on Earth ready to feast. Meanwhile, our boy was approached by another hottie he saved the other day, Joe Min, who asked to meet him at the back gate late in the evening. Our boy arrived on the scene ready to pounce on some meat, but was met with a lecture about weird instances of tremors coming from this area. Alas, she just wanted him for his strength. Talk about bad luck. To make matters worse, they went in to scout the warehouse, only to find a real wolf awaiting them this time. The dumb girl decided to call the police, triggering the wolf's animalistic instincts. Realizing he was no match for the beast, Mofan decided to run away until reinforcements arrived. He tried blocking its attack, but was no match for the brute strength of this apex predator. Fortunately, the cavalry arrived once again to save the day. They froze the wolf in place until Mofan's alter ego, Foeman, showed up to electrocute it and slow down its movement. Despite their best efforts to thwart the wolf, he kept on evolving at a rapid rate, growing thorns and breaking out of the ice trap. The captain had no option but to blast him with fire, creating a large explosion. Even after their relentless attacks, the wolf didn't even falter and kept on growing. It reached the point where the captain exhausted everything in his tank and the team wanted to escape. However, he urged them on, letting them know that there are innocent civilians behind them, and they'd rather die here than let others perish. Talk about a motivational speech. Just when all hope seemed to be lost, a powerful gentleman in a suit showed up, attacking the monster with tornado magic, killing it in an instant. Damn, there are levels to this for sure. After Mofan consumed its energy, he started questioning the hero, who revealed that he was a mid-level mage. Not even upper rank and he can do this. Back on the roof, Mo Fan's pendant started glowing, indicating an evolution. Things are starting to look up for our boy. The next day, the undercover vigilante is seen chilling near a tree, talking about his future plans with a close friend. They discuss what college they'll be going to and how he is preparing for the upcoming tournament. Their conversation is cut short when the woman of my dreams shows up looking for Mo Fan, who has been called to the principal's office. Inside, they discuss the outcome of winning the tournament and explain to him what the sacred spring is. Even though he already knows, they also add that it comes once a year and only one participant is allowed to gain its power. It's almost time for the tournament, and a huge banquet is being prepared for all the guests. Later that night, Mo Fan is greeted by his former crush, who warns him about the consequences of losing and advises him to drop out. However, our boy isn't fazed by her idle threats and promises to beat him silly and win her affection. To him, this battle is personal, and he's been waiting for 2 years to get his revenge. It was time, and all the honored guests started arriving at the lavish mansion. While everyone was busy showing face, Mo Fan was preoccupied with stuffing his. The chief, alongside all his friends, bid him good luck. Not that he'd need it, though. Both participants entered the arena, and Yuang is seen wearing several magical gears. Talk about a rich fella. They shake hands, and the battle between ice and fire begins. Despite Mo Fan's relentless attacks, Yu uses a magical gear that speeds up his movements, allowing him to dodge every attack. He then unleashes a powerful snowstorm, which completely extinguishes Mo Fan's fire. It is revealed that Yu is a level 3 magic user, giving him a head start over our boy. Even so, Mo Fan unlocks his 3rd level fire burst and unleashes waves of flames that explode in Yu's face. Yu then uses his magical gear, which shields against fire in general. Everyone complains that this isn't a fair battle, and the chief gets up and advises Mo Fan to quit since fire can't damage the suit. Nevertheless, the thought of his father forces Mo Fan to use his lightning against Yu. The dragon roared inside the arena and blasted him away, granting our boy a well-deserved victory. That's all for now. If you enjoyed Mo Fan's journey from rags to riches, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on more amazing content.